Hey guys, it's Adam Levitan here at FantasyLabs. And we're coming off of CSU Ram 88, aka Peter Jennings' wedding weekend. I was honored to be out there in Denver for the wedding. It was a beautiful event overlooking some red rocks, famous red rocks out there in Colorado. There were about 7 or 8 Fantasy Labs guys out there. We all had a table at the wedding. Pretty nice of Peter to invite us all out there. It was an awesome time, highlighted by me winning some money on the best man speech. First, I hit the over 7.5 minutes on the best man speech, which was nice. And then I also hit, there was a prop, will the best man mention the location of where the bachelor party was or not? And I bet no on that and was able to hit that as well. So, profitable wedding for me. Great time. Really glad I was able to be there and really honored to be out there as Peter got married. So that was great. We saw his full face, not his mere forehead like we see here. But let's get into this week's screencast. And this week I'm going to be talking about PGA course history and using the models to back test theories that we have. And as I've gotten more and more into PGA, the success that I've had has been directly related to course history and me weighting course history more than other people. And this was just something that I thought, just from my whatever knowledge I had of golf, I always thought that playing a course a lot and faring well at a course and course fit means a significant amount. And it just made sense to me, if you know that I need to hit 2-iron off the tee here instead of driver because of XYZ, that's huge. If you know there's no way I can miss right here, because if you miss right, there's no way you can be up and down because the bunkers are so deep or the rough is so thick. We can only miss left. That's huge. If you know that I need to put it in the back right quadrant of the green so it funnels down towards the hole at this hole location, that's huge. And I think the more times you play a course, the more times you play well at a course, the more confidence you have there, and the better you're going to fare. I didn't want to just go out and say that without testing it, because there's controversy here. It's kind of like the BVP of golf. There's a lot of people out there that say course history is just noise. It doesn't mean very much. Just like there's a whole BVP issue, controversy in baseball. And I think that it's not a comparable between the two. I mean, course history to me just means so much more. I mean, certain courses fit guys and the courses don't adjust. Pitchers can adjust to batters. Courses are not going to adjust to players. Most of the courses on tour play the same year after year. So I wanted to back test this kind of theory that I had. So way to do that within the models, not trends, within models, is to go like this. So we know Peter's model has an expectation of plus 3.59. Really, really solid. Let's check out Collins' model, plus 2.98. Let's check out Bale's model, plus 2.77. So now let me try something here where I say I'm going to make a new model, and it's just going to be called course history. All right, so I'm going to zero out all my sliders here. And now let's see what happens if I weight course adjusted round score to 100. And again, I want to be clear on what course adjusted round score is. Here's the definition here. Well, basically what it means to me is it's in a score, it's average round on this course, but it's adjusted for field strength, for conditions, etc. So let's say that Jason Day shoots 2 under in 2012 at this course, and then he goes back and he shoots 6 under the following year. But in the first year, everybody was better than 2 under. In the year where he shot 6 under, everybody's worse. So what's a better score? It could be related to anything. It could be related to conditions, field strength, wind, how fast the greens were, etc. So adjusted round score is such a powerful stat, and it's really the key to the Fantasy Labs models. The way that Colin is able to compare players that are playing different courses, players that are playing the same course in different year, and boil that all down to one adjusted number. So anyways, if I weight course adjusted round score 100 and I update, I get plus 2.23. Not too bad. But what if I say I want to have a bigger sample size? So I played around this a lot, and what I came up with is that the best mesh here is 65 for course adjusted round score and 35 for course count. And count is simply how many tournaments a player has played. So if I hit update now, I get plus 4.09, just a massive, massive number. I would challenge you guys to find a combination of sliders here that's better than plus 4.09. You might be able to do it. You might be able to find some combinations, but I think that plus 4.09 you will see is a pretty elite number. So let's go to PGA. And now that we're in this model where all we're counting, all we care about is how well a guy has played at a course, adjusted of course, and how many times he's played the course. And for this week, we get Furyk and Rose at the top of the model, Kuchar, Scott, Zach Johnson, etc. Now, there's guys, the cheaper a guy is, the more it means to me if we're using these sliders. Because let's say Jason Day has 4 top 20s and 4 appearances at an event. Well, that doesn't mean that much. He's supposed to, right? Like his salary and his talent level says he's supposed to. I'm more interested in the cheap guys that come up here, finding sleepers. So KT Kim sticks out to me. He's 6,200. If I click on his player card, I can see his 2 previous appearances here. Unfortunately, they were back in 2012 and 2011, but he did play very well here, 24th and 6th. So I'm always looking for cheap guys when I do this model. One thing that I like to do, or that I think not enough people are doing, is going back and back testing and seeing how things resulted. So now we're in the same model here, still the same course history model, 4.09. The only things that are weighted are course adjusted round score and course count. So this was the Quicken Loans. This was last week's event. Notice that this column here comes up actual points. So you can see the guys I'm sorting by rating. This is who I would have seen at the top of the ratings in this model. And now I see how they did. Obviously, Garrigus was a really great play. Bill Haas got third at 9,200. John Huh, top 20 at just 6,300. And the gem of it all, Billy Hurley, who wouldn't come up in anybody's model. I mean, no matter what your model was last week, there's no way you would get on Billy Hurley unless you weighted course history extremely heavily. Billy Hurley came in with almost no top 10s in his whole career. I mean, this guy's like 600 in the world or something. But in his previous 2 trips, down there at the Quicken Loans at Congressional, he had a 4th and an 8th. Pretty amazing, right? And then he goes out and wins. So obviously, we're not expecting to get that kind of result every time. But the fact we can find guys that nobody else is on, I think is huge, huge, huge for GPPs. And it doesn't have to be, course history. That's just something that spoke to me that I thought made sense. Maybe you think that driving distance makes sense and you want to go and test that. And I think there's some merit to that. I mean, the longer a guy hits the ball, the shorter his irons are coming in. And obviously, the shorter the irons, typically for these guys, the closer they can put it to the pin, give themselves more birdie opportunities, which is massive on DraftKings. So maybe you want to test that. I'd encourage you to use the models, mess with the sliders, kind of zero out all the other sliders and isolate them and see what works. So I hope that makes sense. I would not go overboard and just only use course history as your only sliders when you're making lineups, especially for cash. But I think you can compare what we have up here to maybe what a normal model has. So, let's look at Peter's model for this week. And his model is suggesting that Dustin and Duffner and Furyk and Kuchar are near the top. Let's see how that compares with my course history model. And I go here to PGA and I see that also Furyk and Kuchar and Scott are at the top. They're probably really solid plays. Actually, let's look where KT Kim is. KT Kim is pretty high in mine. Let's see where he is in Peters, because this guy, I obviously don't know much about him, but he is intriguing me. And in Peter's model for this week, KT Kim is also reasonably high, 63.79 rating. Pretty solid. So I'm going to have to look more into him. So I hope that helps. As always, any questions related to this or anything else, don't hesitate to email me, ajl201@yahoo.com. For my beautiful beast of a dog, Jerry, I am Adam. Good luck, everybody.